I've spent over $320 million on meta ads and then tested every single campaign structure possible. And after 10 years of testing ad account structures, the majority of e-commerce brands are using ad account structures that are too complicated and that are hurting their performance. And the truth is, the best meta ads campaign structure is surprisingly simple. This is the same exact structure that helped Meraki Medicinal scale to $1 million a month in only 4 months. It's the same account structure that helped Dabbling Duck scale from $10K to over $100,000 a month. The same ad account structure that helped Click Golf scale from 0 to $80K a month in only 6 months. And the same ad account structure that helped Rosie's Chips scale from $10K to $70K a month in only 5 months. Today I'm breaking down my ad account framework so you can implement it immediately, even if you've just started out with meta ads. However, if you want to fast track this process and not have to even watch this video, join my coaching program Meta Ads at Scale and I'll create you a custom ad account structure built specifically for your brand. I'll help you avoid the common mistakes that most people make and get you the results you're after in a fraction of a time. So if you want to hop into Meta Ads at Scale, hit the link below, apply to the program, and you'll get in contact with myself or one of my team members and we'll have a conversation to see if you're a good fit for the program. Now, let's dive into the video. Now, there's a ton of different campaign objectives. There's a traffic campaign, engagement campaign, reach and frequency campaigns, version or sales campaigns, right? There's just so many campaigns that you could use. However, only one you should be focused on and worried about is sales campaigns. As a new brand or just a startup brand or even majority of mature brands should not focus on any other types of campaigns, just focus on sales campaigns to start. Now, the way the algorithm has changed over time is that simplicity actually is the best way to have your ad account structured. In the past, you could do these shotgun methods and where you had this crazy segmentation, but the algorithm does not work that way anymore. It's best to have a simplified account structure where every campaign has a distinct purpose, and that's what I'm going to share with you right now in this video. The reason ad account structure simplicity is so important is because the algorithm works off signals, and if your ad account is too segmented, then it's hard for the algorithm to pick up all the signals it needs to optimize correctly and show the right ads to the right people at the right time effectively. More simple structure allows for more signals to more smoothly be transmitted to the algorithm. Now let's dive into the exact ad account structure that I recommend. The first campaign that I recommend you set up is the ABO testing campaign. So this is just a testing campaign that has budgets at the ad set level, and each ad set is a test. It's so important these days to have a testing campaign so you don't overspend on bad ads, but so you also get answers on what ads are winners. I recommend typically your ABO testing campaign to be 10% or less of your budget. This is considered prospecting spend. Again, we don't want to overspend on testing or else your account will have too much volatility. The next campaigns you're going to set up are your prospecting performance campaigns. So these campaigns can be a variety of campaigns. They could be video only, be static only, they could be videos and statics or all types of ads. They could be product specific campaigns, they could be collection specific campaigns, or they can even be offer specific campaigns. We have a specific offer going on. But the point of these performance campaigns is that they only have winning ads in them. So that's the point of the testing campaign, to find winning ads. Then once you find the winning ads, you graduate them into your performance prospecting campaigns. And these should represent anywhere from 70 to 80% of your overall budget at any given time. And next we have your retargeting campaigns. So there's been a lot of taboo about retargeting these days, but I still use retargeting for all my ad accounts, both from the coaching program and on my agency side. The retargeting campaigns that I have set up, I typically have a retention campaign where I target customers and your email list. Then I also have a bottom of the funnel retargeting campaign where I'll target add to carts, initiate checkout, searches, Instagram or Facebook engagers, video viewers, and product viewers. So really we want these bottom of the funnel people who have recently watched a video, recently engaged with your Instagram, recently added to cart or checked out or searched, or you recently viewed products. Again, this is the bottom of the funnel people that we're trying to get them to convert. And a super important note on retargeting is it should have a better return on ad spend than your prospecting campaigns. If it does not, then that means your retargeting campaigns aren't operating how they should be and they're not running effectively. So if your ROAS is lower on your retargeting campaigns, that is a problem, and that means they are not being ran correctly. And the last campaigns I recommend, and this only applies if you have multiple SKUs or a large product catalog, is dynamic product ads. So I recommend having dynamic product ads prospecting and also dynamic product ads retargeting. And again, you could do this similarly to the setup as the retargeting on your evergreen, have a retention. You can also have a bottom of the funnel. However, on the prospecting side, you don't need to test dynamic product ads. You should just have one prospecting campaign. Yes, you can test maybe different product sets within that campaign. However, you don't need to test dynamic product ads in the ABO testing campaign, dynamic product ads should live separately in their own campaigns. And so that is the simple ad account structure that I recommend. Again, ABO testing campaign, you have your prospecting performance campaigns, you have your targeting campaigns, and then you also have your dynamic product ad campaigns. Really, it should be that simple. And so now let's move on to audience framework. So audiences have changed a ton over time in the last 4 or 5 years. However, I still use a lot of the same things that I used even 5 years ago now. So for newer brands, I use both broad or Advantage Plus audiences, and I also use interest audiences. And the reason I use this for new brands is because you want to give the algorithm different jump off points and be able to train the algorithm on your ideal customer profile. So I typically, when I launch any new brand's ads, will have a broad campaign or Advantage Plus campaign, and we'll also have an interest campaign as the performance campaigns. Again, we will test in the ABO, and then the winning ads will be dropped into the broad Advantage Plus campaign, and then they'll also be dropped into the interest campaign as well. So that's typically the two campaign types that I'll use on newer brands. As you scale as a bigger brand, you have a ton of ad account data in your account. You don't necessarily need to run interest anymore. There is an opportunity to run interest because they are kind of warm audiences because they're pixeled, and you can kind of use it as an in-market interest. So I still sometimes do use them for bigger brands. However, at a certain point when you have a ton of data in your account, broad or Advantage Plus is really all you need. And if you do not do exclusions in your prospecting, you can run into hitting the same people over and over and over again over time, and this can decrease your reach of net new users. So for small brands, typically this isn't a huge issue. The algorithm's continually trying to find new people. There's lots of low-hanging fruit still, but as you scale as a brand, if you do not use exclusions, the algorithm is going to keep going after the same people over and over and over again. And hitting cold traffic is one of the toughest things to do as a mature brand. It's very, very important to do your exclusions. So exclude your customers, exclude your email list, exclude your website visitors 180 days if you want to go completely to cold traffic. This is super important on your performance campaigns to do your exclusions, especially if you're more of a mature brand. However, in my ABO testing campaigns, I don't do any exclusions because we just want to see, do these ads get people to convert? We don't care where they are in the funnel. So this is a important caveat. I do not do any exclusions in my ABO testing campaigns because we want algorithm to get off on the right foot, see if it can get people to convert from these ads, and then graduate them to the campaigns that do actually have exclusions. And I lightly touched on this earlier, but it's super important to have your percentages broken up by prospecting, testing, and retargeting in order to have optimal performance at all times. So on the testing side, I typically recommend no more than 20% to be spent on testing. Ideally, at scale, it'll be something around 10% because again, testing typically means your ad account is in learning mostly. Again, I don't really care that much about the learning mode. However, more money spent on testing on new ads just means volatility, right? And so we want to have consistent performance within our ad account. So I recommend 20% or less of your budget spent on testing campaigns. And at scale, typically that'll be 10% or less. Again, we want to have the majority of our budget to be spent on winning ads and not introduce a ton of volatility into the ad account. Your testing budget will fall under prospecting, and on prospecting overall, I recommend anywhere from 70 to 80% of your budget to be spent on prospecting at all times. The reason for this is that we want to continually be driving new users into your funnel, filling up your retargeting list, filling up your email list, and getting net new users into your ecosystem. So for retargeting, we don't want to spend more than 20 to 30% because it should be like shooting fish in a barrel. It should be really high return on ad spend campaigns, really increasing the efficiency in your overall ad account and in your overall blended return on ad spend for your business. So like I mentioned prior, if your ROAS is lower on your retargeting than your prospecting, your retargeting needs help, you probably should join my coaching program because I can help you with that. And now let's move into how do you know when a campaign is ready to scale? So typically what I look for is a campaign that has had above goal ROAS or below goal CPA for at least 3 to 4 days or even up to 7 days in total. Once that has happened, the ads or the campaign has proven it can have consistent performance, that's when we know it's ready to scale. So again, I've talked about this on my channel multiple times, 2 scaling methods that I implement. Typically, I do the double up method, especially for newer brands. I'll just double the budgets, wait 4 to 7 days, double it again if performance holds. Or I do the 25% rule, which is increase budget by 25%. This ensures the campaigns don't go into learning mode again. Again, I don't really care about, but it is a more slower way to scale, but a more low risk way to scale. And typically, if you're spending 20 to 30K a day, it doesn't always make sense to just double your budgets, right? You're spending 5K a day on a campaign, adding $1,000, $1,250, whatever the 25% mark is, might make more sense. You don't want to introduce too much volatility into account at a given time, especially at high spend, but at lower spend, or to make make these big leaps in revenue, in order to scale to those $1 million months, you have to take these risks and you have to double your budgets, or it's going to take you forever to scale. So there you have it. That's my framework for a simple ad account infrastructure that performs at scale, both at small scale, medium scale, and large scale. And again, remember, every campaign needs to have a purpose. Every time you launch a new campaign, you should think, what is the purpose of this campaign? Is it to push a specific product, a specific collection? Is it to reach more people with video or reach more people with static? Is it to show your products via your product catalog via dynamic product ads? Or is it trying to get people to convert at a high rate with retargeting? Every campaign should have a purpose, so keep this top of mind whenever you launch a new campaign. So you have two options. Option number one, take everything you learned in this video and implement it on your own. You're gonna go through a learning curve, you're gonna take time, you're gonna optimize, and it might take months and months and months to actually get the result you're looking for. But with persistence, they'll most likely still get there, but again, that could be 6 months to a year from now. Or you could do option number two, which is join my program Meta Ads at Scale, where I teach all of this in depth and I create for you a custom growth plan giving you exactly what you need to do to hit your goals and scale profitably. This comes with 5 one-on-one calls directly with me. You get your own dedicated client success manager, your own private Slack channel with access to myself and Steve, where you have 24/7, 365 support. You get access to the group community where we have 100+ winning brands in there. And again, this is a 6-month program. And the best part about this program is we do have a guarantee. If we cannot at least double your revenue profitably, we will work with you for free until we get you there. That is how confident I am in everything that I teach in this program, how confident I am in my systems, and how confident I am that any brand I bring to this program, I can help them succeed. So if you're ready to implement a winning campaign structure with my guidance, hit the link in the description or the link in the comment. Book a call with myself or my team members, and we'll see if you're a good fit for the program, and we will help you scale as profitably as possible in a fraction of a time. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll see you in my next video.